Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with another one of my Mr. Everything Talks RoboTech RPG Tactics. This one we're going to be talking about update 147, production in full swing. Okay, I just want to give you an update from the website, and you can visit the website on your own. The website is right there at the top of your screen, www.robotechgamecenter.com, and you would be able to go ahead and view these updates on your own. Well, this update came out this weekend over the 4th of July holiday, and I thought it was very important to share with all of you and keep you up to date on what's going on. A couple of weeks ago, you probably saw my last update, and I talked about how I thought that by the end of this month, we'll start to see packages in our hands. Well, you know, I think I'm being a little bit too optimistic, having learned a little bit about the production delays that they're experiencing and things like that. I can't really tell you when we're going to see this. I expected it last December. So as far as I'm concerned, this project is past due. It's already July. If I get it in December again, it'll be a year late. Okay, and so but I'm hoping that we'll get it within the next month or two. Okay, so now let's talk about Project Update 147, production in full swing. We have a lot of photos to show you this week, but first, okay, I'm basically reading what's coming out from the official sources. The initial test runs for Wave 1 game pieces arrived in Palladium offices Saturday, and they immediately put them together. Okay, just to kind of see what's going on, what needed to be corrected. They sent up the final adjustments to the production, the factory, so they could jump right on those, and they started approving fixes all week. Just about everything for Wave 1 is now in manufacturing with a few exceptions. As soon as you say with a few exceptions, that tells me everything is not in production. So don't say everything is in production with a few exceptions. Because if you have 100 pieces that go in a box, and you have all 99 of them done, but one of them is not done, the end result is that box is not done. Okay, so I'm trying not to be negative. I'm trying to be positive because I'm super excited for this game, and I know that they're doing their best. And what they're trying to do is keep us up to date on everything that's going on. But it's hard to be positive. Okay, so come on. Some adjustments have been made to the Tomahawk and Defender molds over the last couple of days. That's good. We saw some photo test runs, and there's still slight fixes still need to be made. So you know what that means? They're not done. Okay, and then we should be able to approve them tomorrow. Tomorrow would be Sunday, and so they can start production in China. Okay, so because they're molding the plastic in China and getting it sent. Now, having dealt with some Chinese manufacturing in the past, okay, I don't know if you're familiar with Airsoft and BBs. I've actually contracted a company in China to make BBs for me to sell on a Airsoft website that I used to own. Well, as Screaming Eagle Airsoft, and I've pretty much closed that site. But let me just tell you that ordering these Chinese BBs was not an easy process. They did an awesome job. They did everything I asked them to do, but I just had to, I guess it was lost in translation, or, they weren't exactly understanding exactly what I was needing or wanting. And so I had to get constant updates and changes made to what I was requesting. And until finally got the finished product. And I bet you that's exactly what this company is running through. Palladium is probably running through this, and Ninja, they're probably running through the same problems that I had. And so I anticipate this manufacturing process to go on for a while. Okay, but we'll find out. Okay, there was a fix done on the Valkyrie Battleoid, and then that went into production, and then everything else is in production. Okay, so That's good. At least they're starting to get everything put together. The box, even if they only got one item finished, at least they've got an item finished, and now they can concentrate on the other 99 items, But if they've got almost everything done, in the box, then they can focus their attention on a smaller project, like one mold or one mecha, and if that's the case, that'll get knocked out quick. So if everything else is done up until a certain point, that's hopeful. That's hopeful. Okay, so now let's talk about the test runs. Okay, we have some photos from last week where you saw those orange ones, right? And then they came out, with sprue lines, and you could see where they were cut off the sprue and things like that. And I showed you that. And in one of my next videos, I'm going to show you the putty that I have and put together some terrain and stuff like that. But those are in my upcoming videos. The next two videos that I do will be about terrain building. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Here's some good pictures. These look like finished sprues to me. It definitely looks like a finished sprue. And this looks like a model put together from those sprues. So let's zoom in. Okay, and there you go. We could probably, can we zoom in again? No, we can't. Okay, so if you lean into the screen, and you can see that they've cleared up a lot of the mold lines. There aren't a whole lot of mold lines. There looks like a little cut from the flash there, but you know what? You get that. And then you just clean that up with a little scoring or a little sandpaper or file or something, and then you go ahead and you paint it. Once you paint it, all that disappears. That's a beautiful mold right there. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Let's scroll down, and now that was the Valkyrie Battloid. Okay, as you notice, two of these come in one sprue. So on one sprue you get two. I don't see where a second one would be on there unless some parts are back here, but yeah. Okay, and then they give you some extra pieces down there and a bunch of extra pieces there. But it looks like they got a flight stand right there and some other things. So I don't know exactly what you get on a sprue. It says two of these come in one sprue, so after assembling one, there are parts left over to make one more, plus multiple arm poses and head options. Okay. Now we have the Valkyrie Guardian. The only parts left over are a set of arms and a different pose, a few missiles and stuff like that, and heads. Okay. Looks good. What do you see? You don't really see a whole lot of flash or mold lines or anything on that model. It looks like they fixed it up. Okay, maybe right there and there, but you can clean that up. See, there's a little ding right there. But I think that's just from these guys not really being model builders, but being game designers, and they're just putting these models together in a hurry to kind of show us. But since we're model builders, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a really good job. Now, here's the Valkyrie Fighter, much the same, with just missiles and head options left over. And looking close at it, it looks pretty good. Pretty good. But for some reason, I was thinking that these things had a tail. They don't have a tail? I don't remember. But I was thinking these things should have a tail. You know what? Let me see. Maybe not. Maybe they don't have a tail. Because here's an example. Here's one. Whoops. I'm not talking about Battloid or, yeah, see, I guess they don't have a tail. Okay, cool. Okay, my bad. I was thinking they had tails, but I guess they don't. That's pretty awesome. That, you know, they've got that level of detail on there. They know exactly what they're doing. and I'm an idiot. Okay. Now we have the Defender. Like the Battleoid above, they come with 2 sprues. So there's a Defender left to assemble here. So basically 2 on a sprue. There's still parts left over to create a second Defender. This is going to make a lot of BattleTech players happy because if they still play old unseen mechs, you know, like the Rifleman or the Raider X or whatever you call it, they're going to be happy about that for their collection. And then there's the next one, which is the Tomahawk, which is one of the most iconic mechs in BattleTech, but it shouldn't have been because it was a RoboTech vehicle before it was anything else. But I know RoboTech players are going to be extremely happy about that, you know. And that model looks good. Whoops. That model looks good. I like it. Okay, there's a mode line right there. So what? I'm not one to complain about mode lines because I know how to fix them, and you're never going to ever going to get a model that when you just put it together, all the mode lines just go poof and disappear. No, you're going to have to fix them. Okay, and we come down here. There's a phalanx experimental arms, so you don't have to go with the circles. You can go with the box arms. Didn't really see very many people in the anime, and didn't see any box arms. They're talking about how they're experimental arms. I think that might just be from the RPG or maybe from some fiction. I'm always going to put the round arms on. Then you got, oh yeah, the Spartan. So, you know, and these mechs here also were used by BattleTech. You know, they cribbed off of them. This was what, an archer in BattleTech? You know, so the Spartan with his GU-11 gun pod. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, okay, cool. So it has the club like it's supposed to. Nice. Okay, and basically, that's basically the project update. Happy holidays and all that. Basically, they're saying they've got almost everything finished. They're going to be in production possibly this past weekend in China. So we could start seeing those, next week? Now, there might be shipping problems, you know, depending on how large the orders are. I don't know if they're overnighting them or if they're shipping them by sea, you know, because if, depending on how long the shipment takes, you know, a couple of weeks, 6 weeks or whatever, we're not going to see it in August. We're going to see it probably in October or something like that. September, October, November. Who knows when we're going to see these? But at least we can see that their production is going in the right direction. And that's what I love. And I love seeing these pictures, letting us see how they're going to look and what states they're in. And I thought that was pretty awesome, and I appreciate that. Okay, that was our RoboTech update from Project Update 147. Come back and check out my next 2 videos. I'm going to do one on terrain, and then I'm going to do one on some buildings you might enjoy. See you next time.